Zac Taylor finally broke his silence, and what he revealed about the Bengals preseason opener changes everything. We've got full details on who's starting, how much time they'll get on the field, and what it means for this team heading into 2025. But before we dive into the latest out of Cincinnati, if you live and breathe Bengals football, do this now. Hit that subscribe button, like the video, and turn on notifications so you never miss breaking Bengals news. Let's ride into the season together. Now, back to the jungle. The Bengals are officially back. Preseason week 1 is here. And this time, Zac Taylor isn't holding back. In a sharp contrast to previous years, Taylor confirmed that starters will play in the first preseason game, a major shift from his usual conservative approach. That's a big deal, especially considering Cincinnati's slow starts the past few seasons. Rust has been real. Taylor seems to be responding to the growing pressure around 3 critical questions. 1. Can the defense bounce back and become dominant again? 2. Will the offensive line finally give Joe Burrow the protection he needs? 3. And most importantly, can this team start fast? For years, the Bengals have eased into the season, often looking sluggish out of the gate, and many have blamed that on resting starters too much during the preseason. This year, Taylor appears to be flipping the script. More details on what he said and what it means for the roster coming up. Now here's where things get real interesting. Zac Taylor's decision to finally play the starters isn't just talk. It's a calculated shift. For too long, the Bengals have stuck to a routine that led to the same slow start. 0-2 records in every season except their Super Bowl run. Something had to change. And now, it finally is. Taylor revealed that this first preseason game won't be the main showcase. That role is reserved for August 18th against Washington. But he confirmed something we rarely hear this early. Starters will get several series on the field Thursday night. That's significant. He didn't lock anything in. No snap counts. No quarter commitments. He was careful not to overpromise. But the intent is clear. You will see your stars, Burrow, Chase, Higgins, out there getting real reps. And that matters. Because no matter how well this team knows each other, even with years of chemistry between Burrow and his weapons, rhythm doesn't carry over from off-season workouts. You have to build it under the lights. And that starts now. Yes, there's risk. No one wants to see an injury in a meaningless preseason game. But Taylor is finally acknowledging the truth. You can't afford to start slow in today's NFL. Last season proved it. Every game matters. And this year, the Bengals are acting like it. No, one loss doesn't end your season, but it can define it. Zac Taylor knows that better than anyone. He didn't say it directly, but you can read between the lines. Week 1 matters more than ever. Last year's narrow playoff miss? You can trace it all the way back to that 1-point loss against New England. A game they should have won. A game that came down to details. A game that slipped away. And now, Taylor is treating those early moments like they matter, because they do. He specifically pointed out how valuable it will be to get real game reps before they open the season on the road under the primetime lights. You can simulate crowd noise. You can rehearse situations. But nothing replicates the real thing. As Taylor put it, just having 11 guys in the huddle, on both sides of the ball, communicating in a live setting, that's something you can't duplicate in practice. That mindset is exactly what Bengals fans should want to hear. It's no longer about just preparing for September. It's about being ready for it. Because this year, there's no room for rust. No time for slow starts. Not with expectations sky high and the window for a Super Bowl wide open. And with the final preseason game looming, every rep between now and then counts. There's no hiding the anticipation anymore. Bengals fans are itching to see this team in action. But make no mistake, preseason game 1 is just a glimpse, not the full picture. This week is about getting the starters loose, knocking off the offseason rust, and building that urgency that's been missing in past openers. Zac Taylor's tone says it all. The message inside the locker room is simple: start fast or fall behind. But Taylor also addressed some key updates on the injury front. Tight end Mike Gesicki won't be playing in this first preseason game. And frankly, that's the right move. Even if the injury isn't serious, there's no reason to rush him out there. Risking anything in August for a player who's expected to contribute heavily in September just doesn't make sense. Now, with Gesicki sidelined, many expected to get their first look at Noah Fant, the Bengals' latest addition. But Taylor shut that down quickly. Fant won't suit up either. Why? Simple. He's still getting acclimated to the system. This isn't about ability. It's about integration. The Bengals want him fully comfortable with the playbook before throwing him into game speed. And that debut? Taylor pointed to August 18th against Washington as Fant's likely first appearance. In the meantime, it opens the door for other depth guys at tight end to earn their snaps, and for the coaching staff to evaluate what they've really got behind the starters. And that, in many ways, is what this first preseason game is all about: momentum, evaluation, and staying healthy. If Mike Gesicki's injury lingers longer than expected, Noah Fant could be more than just a depth piece. He could be in line for real starter reps by preseason game 2. That situation is one to monitor closely. Another player with eyes on him? Amarius Mims. He's expected to play in this first preseason game, and that alone is significant. Mims, who's dealt with his own injury concerns, now finds himself back in action. And with the Bengals carefully watching their offensive line chemistry, this is a big opportunity for him. While Mims was out, rookie Jalen Rivers, a fifth-rounder from Miami, stepped in. And don't overlook Dylan Fairchild, who's firmly in the mix at left guard. Taylor mentioned he's right in that competition. All eyes are on the trenches. Mims has already flashed potential, but potential won't cut it this year. With Orlando Brown Jr. anchoring the left side, the Bengals need Mims to step up and own that right tackle spot. It's not just about protection. It's about establishing dominance at the line of scrimmage. Because let's be honest, if the Bengals are going to start fast and sustain momentum in 2025, the offensive line can't be a question mark anymore. It has to be a strength. So as we inch closer to kickoff, the storyline isn't just about stars like Burrow and Chase. It's about the big men up front. And how they perform, starting right now, could set the tone for the entire season.